From a network of man-made islands to a towering skyscraper that was planned to surpass the Burj Khalifa as the tallest in the world, these images might easily be mistaken for one of Dubai's extravagant megaprojects. However, this isn't Dubai or anywhere in the Middle East. This is Azerbaijan's ambitious Khazar Islands project. Over a decade after its grand unveiling, the site remains a collection of incomplete buildings and undeveloped islands. So, what went wrong? Have the islands been entirely abandoned, or is there still hope for revival? Today, we delve into Azerbaijan's $100 billion failed islands. Azerbaijan, a country you may not know much about, is technically landlocked from the world's oceans and situated at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. Unlike the United Arab Emirates or Saudi Arabia, it's not a place that comes to mind when thinking about lavish coastal developments, let alone one with a skyscraper designed to eclipse the Burj Khalifa in height. Azerbaijan may not be well known for its megaprojects, but it has the resources to make them happen. The skyline of Baku showcases impressive towers and skyscrapers, reflecting the country's architectural capabilities. Azerbaijan is relatively wealthy, largely due to its oil industry, which has driven its economic success. In the early 1900s, Azerbaijan produced over half of the world's oil supply. Since gaining independence in 1991, the country's oil sector has grown, particularly after the 2006 opening of a 1,700-kilometer pipeline connecting Baku to Turkey, establishing Azerbaijan as a major oil exporter. Azerbaijan's oil exports generated billions for the country, but it lacked a major project to attract global attention and investment. In 2010, businessman Ibrahim Ibrahimov came up with an ambitious solution. Inspired during a flight from Dubai to Baku, he quickly sketched plans for a large-scale city development. Upon landing, he presented the sketch to his architects, urging them to bring his vision to life. This bold idea became the foundation for a megaproject aimed at putting Azerbaijan on the global map. The development was planned to be located south of Baku, along the Caspian Sea. The Khazar Islands project was designed to feature 55 artificial islands, connected by over 150 bridges, with luxury apartments, hotels, shops, an equestrian center, a yacht club, and even a Formula One racetrack. Though Ibrahimov denied being inspired by Dubai's Palm Islands, the similarities were clear, as both projects aimed to create high-end developments for the global elite. The centerpiece of the project was to be the world's tallest skyscraper, designed to surpass all others, following the success of similar ventures in Dubai. The Azerbaijan Tower was designed to exceed a kilometer in height, making it the tallest building in the world, surpassing Dubai's Burj Khalifa by over 200 meters. When the plans were revealed in 2011, it was also set to surpass Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower, which was expected to reach 1,008 meters. The tower was intended to be a mixed-use development, combining office spaces with luxury residential and hotel accommodations. It took a lot of effort, so we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to talktive for more incredible projects like this. Now, back to the story. The Azerbaijan Tower was estimated to cost over $2 billion, with the entire Khazar Islands project projected at $100 billion. Designed to be earthquake-resistant, the project was divided into 3 phases, creating the artificial islands and infrastructure, building residential developments and the skyscraper, and completing additional amenities like malls and restaurants. Despite the ambitious timeline and lack of funding, construction began in March 2011, with the project initially expected to take 15 years to complete. In the years that followed, significant progress was made on the first phase of the project. Meanwhile, work on the Azerbaijan Tower and the rest of the second phase was slated to begin in 2015, with the skyscraper itself expected to be finished by 2019. However, it's now been 5 years since that projected completion date, and the Burj Khalifa remains the tallest building in the world. So, what went wrong? What caused this ambitious megaproject to fall into obscurity, with little to no updates in recent years? As it turns out, just like oil is a finite resource that will one day run out, the wealth it generates is equally limited. By 2010, Azerbaijan had already reached its peak in oil production, and the following years brought no improvement. The global oil industry faced challenges as well, with prices sharply declining around 2014 and 2015. For most countries, this might not have been catastrophic, but since oil and gas exports made up more than half of Azerbaijan's GDP, the economic impact was severe. By 2015, the year construction on the Azerbaijan Tower was set to begin. The country's currency, the manat, had already depreciated by 30% and continued to weaken further. The final nail in the coffin for the project came when an arrest warrant was issued for Ibrahim Ibrahimov in 2015 due to unpaid debts owed to the National Bank, funds he had used to finance his ambitious vision for the Khazar Islands. Although he was released on bail just 15 days later, the damage to the project's prospects was already irreversible. Construction of the Azerbaijan Tower and the Khazar Islands project was eventually cancelled and paused indefinitely, respectively. Building a skyscraper over a kilometer tall presents significant financial, logistical, and engineering challenges. Similar high-profile projects, like Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower and Dubai's Creek Tower, also face delays and setbacks due to financial issues. These examples underscore the difficulties of such large-scale projects, making the cancellation of the Azerbaijan Tower almost inevitable. Even if none of these issues had occurred and the entire project had been completed on time and as planned, one fundamental question remains: was a megaproject of this scale something Azerbaijan truly needed? Or was it simply the overly ambitious vision of a wealthy businessman with little foresight? The Khazar Islands bear a striking resemblance to Dubai's artificial islands, and at their core, both projects aimed for the same goal: high-profile property developments by oil-dependent states seeking to diversify their economies. However, Dubai's islands have already demonstrated how such projects can fall short of their grand ambitions, failing to be completed as originally envisioned. This raises doubts about whether the Khazar Islands would have been any more successful. If Dubai, widely considered the world leader in luxury living, couldn't make their World Islands project successful, how could Azerbaijan possibly do any better? It's unlikely that millions of people would suddenly flock to the country to invest in such a venture. So, what's the current status? Nearly a decade after Ibrahimov's arrest in 2015, there has been little to no news about the project's future. In a 2015 statement, Ibrahimov's company claimed the development was still on track to be completed between 2020 and 2025, with Chinese investors reportedly still interested in financing it. However, recent satellite images of the site show a very different reality. The area is largely barren, with only a few unfinished buildings and roads, and it's clear that even the first phase of construction remains incomplete. There's no sign at the site to suggest that a towering 1-kilometer skyscraper was ever planned. No foundations have been laid, and the area seems to have been completely abandoned. By 2019, the Azerbaijan Industrial Corporation, a state-owned property management company, took control of the project site. They reportedly began conducting feasibility studies, exploring potential alternative developments and investors to utilize the land originally designated for the Khazar Islands. However, the findings of these studies have never been made public. What do you think about the Khazar Islands and the Azerbaijan Tower? Do you think they'll ever be completed? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to see more about other super tall skyscrapers, you should subscribe talktive. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.